Hello again, this is Eskar here with the 7th installment of my airship tours. This time we are going to have a look again at the existing fleet. I've made a lot of updates and changes, so before we get started, I just want to tell you that I have updated all of the turrets to a new style that uses command blocks. I'll get into that again later. And the first thing you'll see, change the camera, is I've replaced all of the wooden decks because I wanted something a little more metal looking, because wood on a battleship was not quite the best choice. Okay, let's click here. Alright, now, another thing you'll notice is the turrets are now raised up higher off the deck, and this is to accommodate the turret rotation mechanism, because that always bothered me that the turrets were they didn't have anything in them to make them rotate. They just kind of sat there on the deck and it didn't look right. So I added these. Now these pipes here go to the turret itself, which I'll tell you what this does when I get up there. But these pipes here come from, or this pipe in particular on top, comes from the outside from the main boiler. It comes from the front boiler, actually, all the way up to this turret, carrying hot pressurized steam into the pressure chamber, I guess, for the front turret. And there, from the pressure chamber, it goes to these things and the turret rotating mechanisms, which are on the left and right side of the turret tower, I guess. It's really too short to call a tower, but eh. Okay, now these were the quote-unquote elevation tracking for the turrets. Because in a real battleship, the turrets wouldn't be stationary. They'd be able to move up and down and spin around and everything, which I took the liberty of putting controls in here. You have the rotation control here, which will spin left and right. Hypothetically, it doesn't actually move. And then the elevation, which would raise the barrel up and down, again hypothetically. Now the firing mechanism is rather interesting. Now I looked up on YouTube, I don't remember exactly which one I found, but it was a command block cannon instead of my TNT cannon turret, so they're a lot easier to fire. Let me just break these. Oh, darn, I gotta fix that. But it uses two command blocks. The back one here summons a prime TNT at the front of the barrel with a set fuse and a set motion value. Now let me fix cannon. Oh, I forgot to mention, this command block, because with the first one it only launched as prime TNT with no sound effect, this one summons a prime TNT 2 blocks in front with a fuse of 0, so it explodes as soon as it's summoned, and it doesn't move at all. So I will hop up here and show you what that does. It's going to break a couple of these. Now there you see that little water block, that's where it summons the prime TNT into, so it doesn't do any damage to anything else. And I will fire it now, get the cool sound effect. See just off in the distance TNT flying away. Usually get the nice sound effect of the TNT blowing up. A little lag. Okay, so now all the cannons have been replaced to this format. All the TNT cannons anyway. Here we have the second TNT turret. Same pipes going from the boiler into the turret. Have more of the same in the rotating assembly. Just going into a pressure tank for its pipes and things, gears moving and whatnot. You'll notice this one is raised a little higher up above the deck than the other turret, just to give it a little more space. Let me switch it to day. There, now we have nice bright sunshine. Okay, so another thing I did was I had replaced all the doors with metal doors, or the iron doors, because it looks a little better. Notice a couple changes. I filled that in to make it solid. Just a couple structural changes and aesthetic things. Notice all the stairs have been replaced with the iron grating, aka jungle wood, with my version of Glimmer Steampunk Pack. And let's see, go apt, go here. Now this is different. Now before I just had a big open room with the scatterguns and the other turrets and little doors. This time I replaced the scatterguns with a smaller version of the main turret. It's not a scattergun, it's just a regular TNT cannon with the same command block scheme. Only this one explodes after a shorter time and it doesn't go as far. Pretty much the same thing at your TNT shells here, and your mechanisms to operate the cannon. Pressure plates don't like me very well. Okay, sorry about that, it was annoying. Let's see. Oh, notice how the Undaunted had that big open room. Go forward, I fixed the open rooms in here, and I had turned them into more crew quarters because my ships did seem a little undermanned. So, front rooms are just little crew quarters. Not too many can fit in these ones. But I figured it'd be nice to have a little extra crew members on the ship so it's not run by a skeleton crew. Okay, go down below decks here. Now you'll notice the new thing is the pipes running here to the cannons. These are the, I guess the pressure pipes to raise and lower the outside cannons. Because the outside, the port and starboard side cannons, all cannons are outside, but the port and starboard TNT cannons only have elevation tracking, meaning they would hypothetically move up and down and not left to right like the main guns do. I also changed up the engineering deck in the Undaunted here. We now have a weapon and armor repair shop with repair guides and handy little drawers. Okay. And before the belly turret, just this big empty room behind the pressure tank for the lifting gas. Now the belly turret looks, if I can get to the ladder, much more like a turret assembly with catwalks going over the rotating assembly and everything. Go down the ladder, into the turret, or into the turret proper here. Now this turret was a little interesting because I had to invert everything and set it up funny, but I think it turned out rather well. Go with the rotating, go down and inside the upside down turret. This one fires the same, just a nice big boom when the TNT gets launched. You see it just in the corner before the smoke covers it. But anyway, let us exit the HMS Undaunted. Okay, let's go. Forgetting how large these are, it takes quite a while to get out of them. Okay. There we go, out the, still this little empty room that I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet, but I think I'll just leave it as a little entryway. But again, here's the rear turret on the Undaunted. We have just the pipes going from the boiler all the way down to the turret. Same scheme as the other ones. There's a big sign on the inside that says, "Do not fire this turret," because it would blow up and hit the ships back here. Now before we get on to the changes to the light carriers, we'll do the Dreadnought. Now the Dreadnought, I removed the, well this is the light attack Dreadnought. I have two of them now. The light, for this one I removed the scattergun on top and just put a double turret. Because it's still pretty formidable. Like, not against big capital ships like the Undaunted or the carriers or anything. But it's still pretty formidable for small ships, still favored by the pirates and mercenaries like I'd mentioned before. But we go in. Again, I replaced all the wood with the end stone, which is textured like this for good metal plating. Not much different on the inside. The sick bays are still here. Did I replace them? No, I didn't fix that yet. We'll fix that with the beds instead of the stone slabs. We go up here, and everything still looks like it's been enough. Yeah, I didn't change anything up here. I had to refit the whole fleet so to fit the new scheme, so can't remember what exactly I changed and what I didn't. Let's see. Down here, I think... No, I didn't get around to this one yet. On the other dreadnought I have, I changed the turret scheme to look more, well, realistic instead of just this big empty room, but I will fix that before the map download. But that's pretty much it for the dreadnought. Let me exit this one. I'll head back over to the carriers. Can get a look at the new things over here. Okay, so let's start off with the Harbinger over here, because the Suriname's just the same thing, it just has an extra gunboat. Now, the first thing you'll notice is I had made new gunboats. These I'm calling the Hornet gunboat, like the, I'm just going to say the A-25 Hornet, because it sounds good. You'll notice this one is missing a few components, because they're down in engineering being worked on, but you will go through this one just for the looking at it, and just right in the front. So we got two forward cannons fixed to the front for strafing runs. We go into the cockpit here, if I can get the door to cooperate. There we go. Yep. A little less, actually a little more space than the previous gunboats, but a lot more control faces in here. And a lot more visibility, I would think, to see it around as the pilot. Let's hop out here. The ladder on the side. The guns are no longer accessible from the cockpit. They're individual little cells. I'm just going to call them cells, or individual little things. The gun crews would sit in here. This one's empty because it's in the engineering. But this gun, the same, just a single dispenser turret. And these ships each have a crew capacity. Let's see, one for the pilot and 2 gun spots. That makes 5 crew members per Hornet gunboat. Yeah, we get to the back, we see all 4 gun turrets on the side, plus 2 in the front, makes a total of 6 guns. And here we have a rather large engine for the small size of the ship, but because of the single engine, I can't have many small ones, so this is a very large engine to propel this thing forward at high speeds. Okay, then we go inside the carrier to have a look at the changes. Okay, the ready rooms here are still pretty much the same. We go up here to the communications, that's the same. Although you will notice I changed out all the glass for these portholes, which is nice. It looks a lot more realistic. Okay, then we go down and we see the port and starboard guns. Now this one I'm not going to fire because it's pointed at my other ship, but it's the same as the Undaunted, just a command block cannon with the elevation tracking, and this one, I meant to do it on the Undaunted, but I didn't get around to it yet, has a reloading door, which just opens and closes this in the back, where you could shove one of these TNT shells inside, hypothetically, of course. And as we go forward, you'll notice everything is, well, actually this is aft, everything is now labeled with the doors. They all have numbers and everything. The turrets are all numbered, port and starboard as well. But we go back to the armory, it's the same. Go aft, and you'll notice there's no longer an observation deck. Again, I noticed this ship had a lot less crew than it was meant to, so I made more crew quarters. here in the aft section above the boiler. Not the best spot to sleep in the ship, but it's a bed. So go in here. This room has 6, 12, and the other room has 6. And go upstairs. Nighttime again. And oh, I guess I forgot one. This one's empty. That room's supposed to have crew quarters in it. I'll fix that before the map download. But we go in here, we have more crew, again more, and again more crew. So that is pretty much it for the carriers, for the light carriers anyway. Then let me get out of here. Oh, I did make a change to the bridge. I almost forgot to mention that. Let's see. All the way forward. The bridge, you'll notice, is a little longer. And, well, by a full 3 blocks longer. Not too much to show, just a little extra space for more controls. Let me hop outside and show you the front. Like, the carriers were okay with the front, but I decided I didn't much like them looking like 747 jumbo jets for the nose. So let's fly instead of falling. I decided to sharpen the nose a little bit and extend it out just to give it a little more ship-like appearance instead of a jumbo jet. So that's that. Let me switch it to day, get a better look. There we go. Yep, nice, a little more aerodynamic than plowing through the air. And the last thing I wanted to show you for the changes is over here on my almost complete heavy carrier. The map download won't be up until I get this finished and a tour made. But the final change, as I fly over the massive amount of airships all over the deck, is my new, haven't quite thought of a name for these gunboats. Any ideas would be great. But these are the heavy gunboats. As you can see, they have 6 total turrets, and they're double turrets at that. The entire thing is covered in a layer of heavy armor. Let's see, hop inside. There's a lot of room in the cockpit. Go, and the back is accessible by hallways the whole way down. They're just dispenser turret. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. But nice decorative thing. Go back here, you'll see this is an aesthetic thing, which I will get to as soon as I get out of this one again. Get out and show you a better view of the outside. Oh, there's no button on this side. I'll fix that later. Get down here, and all those pistons, see them again here. These pistons are hypothetically for retracting the control wings in for when it goes down the elevator to be maintained in engineering. But you also notice that these gunboats have 2 of the engines that are on the back of the Hornet. But see over here, this one, yes, this one is all folded up. See the engines flip up so it can fit down the elevator, and the wings retract in, or hypothetically they would retract in if this were real. But this one's just as an example of what it would look like to go down the elevator for maintenance, because here you see they're all extended, and then they're 1 meter or block further in. Let's go down here. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll take it apart here. Here we have all the turrets off the side, sitting on the elevator in maintenance. Have the engine covers kind of piled in the middle with the inner workings just open to see. And again, the control pins are pulled inwards, so it'll fit down the elevator shaft. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say was, surprise, this is the carrier's biggest asset is a heavy attack, short-range dreadnought underneath. The reason I call this heavy attack is because there are no crew quarters on the ship, and the front has a battleship, not a battleship, but a destroyer-grade TNT cannon with my new command block setup. So I call it the heavy attack dreadnought because if you aim it right, you can punch a hole into just about anything. But I'll go over this one. Like, this is the one I had the realistic lower belly turret on. Go through, mainly for Marines to sit while you're going somewhere. It's not really designed for comfort or long sojourns into the field. But we go down here, we have the sick bays. These ones are the ones I replaced with the beds. Yeah, there's no doors because it's a combat vessel. You're not really going to be going to the sick bay, or you're not really going to have time. You notice the captain's quarters and the first officers are gone because there are no crew quarters on the ship again. But you'll notice something a little different. This ladder's been moved to accommodate the pipe over here going from the boiler down to the turret. There's another pipe on top of the ship going to the front turret. And let's see there. There's the ladder. Okay. Go down. Belly turret. This is what I've been meaning to graft onto the other one. My other dreadnought is this more realistic rotation assembly for the belly turret. Still don't have an elevation tracking for this one though, but that's okay. I'll add that in later. But it's the same turret, just a little more aesthetically pleasing than just an empty room above it. And if I've again got the pipe going to the forward turret on the inside of this one instead of the outside, because there's space on the inside of this one to run the pipe. Now I have everything labeled on this one as well. Bridge down here. Same as the other one, just a little more spacious, I think. A little higher ceiling. Okay, we go forward here to the main gun. This is the only wooden door that I have because it's an older ship. I need to fix that though. Here we go, main gun. Again, I have do not fire because we are inside of the heavy carrier. That would not go over well. But again, it's the same old TNT cannon with your command block. So you got the loading door, quote unquote, for the TNT shells. And up here is the rotation assembly for the front turret. It's a little different on the other dreadnought, but it's because there's crew quarters in the way on the other one. So, anyway, let's hop outside for a better view. Oh, and on the heavy one it has 3 of these fixed turrets on each side. So your broadside guns. It has 2 destroyer TNT cannons on the front. Like 2 cannons total, 1 on the front, 1 on the back. For defensive purposes. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you again with another tour of this, the next one being of the heavy carrier behind me when I get it finished, and that is when I will also have the map ready to download again with the new version, with all the new stuff, the new ships and everything. So until then, farewell.